Hi friends, I would like to greet you and congratulate you because you are the pioneers that are helping ground 5D on the planet Earth. So we all know by now that the twin flame journey is the most fascinating and probably the toughest journey a soul can take. And usually people who meet their twin flames are those people who are choosing to ascend or who for them it is their final life. Okay, like before uh, their soul has completed its lessons on this planet. Okay, it's their final life, or they're choosing to ascend. But nowadays, it is more people who are choosing to ascend because there is so much awareness due to people like us uh, regarding the ascension process, regarding the matrix system, the system which is behind the system. Okay, that basically mind controls humanity in masses. Okay, so like for example in a country like Africa, okay, uh, people do not have food to eat. Okay, so a lot of trauma is created. Okay, regarding lack of nourishment. Okay, so in astrology, those people who have karma with the planet moon, because moon is the karaka of nourishment. If you have a lot of karmic debt with the planet moon, then you would probably born in one of those starving African countries, in those situations where you don't get food to eat. Okay, so we talk about purgatory, we talk about hells. It all exists here on this planet because different people pull in different reality timelines, and that is why we talk about on this journey about ascending to 5D. What is 5D? 5D is the same world, but the situations are different, the people are very different. Okay, and your each experience is energy enhancing rather than energy draining. Okay, I refer to this movie quite often in my talks, and that movie is Celestine Prophecy. Okay, and that movie is one hell of a masterpiece. Okay, because it actually talks about the system, it actually talks about how people drain each other's energy because they need to survive off of the other person's energy. Okay, now I'm not saying this is entirely unhealthy. Of course, we are social animals. Okay, and we are supposed to have an interdependent relationship, a symbiotic relationship where both the people or both the people involved or more people involved are contributing as well as sharing energy. Okay, so energy sharing is different from a parasitic system where you just have taking. Okay, and basically the other person starves and dies. Okay, so these are the systems that are functioning on this planet. Okay, and twin flames are basically here to enhance the symbiotic system, the healthy interdependence. Okay, and we do that on the level of consciousness because the damage to humanity has been done on the level of consciousness in the first place. Okay, so the only way to reverse that is to work on the consciousness. Okay, because like for example, a person like me, and this is what the video is going to be. So my video will be titled "What Happens When You Become Shakti." Okay, so as a twin flame, okay, you incarnate. Okay, you are an avatar self, you are an ascended master, and you incarnate and you forget who you are because the soul separates via the core wound. I talked about a core wound. The core wound is the place where the soul separates. Sometimes it's the heart chakra, sometimes it's the third eye chakra, sometimes mostly it's not the third eye chakra, it's one of these lower chakras. Okay, it can be heart, solar plexus, sacral, even root. So but uh, like this is the core wound where the soul separates. Okay, this is the place where the soul separates, the soul polarizes into the masculine and the feminine. Okay, so When the soul separates both the partners, they fall into a deep level of unconsciousness, which is also known as the deep state these days. A lot of people use that term in spiritual circles like us. It's called the deep state. Okay, it basically means your soul is fragmented to such an extent that many of the faculties of an integrated soul, you lose them. So an extreme example of soul fragmentation are, people who have this schizophrenia. Okay, and a lot of mental illnesses are basically entity attachment cases. Okay, so what the people knew in the past, that is true, and I can tell it from my experience because I have been a non-believer in these things. Okay, I never believed in these things until I began to see. I began to see, like the way you see when your third eye starts opening is initially you start seeing smoke kind of figures, smoky figures, and then later on you start seeing the features like the hair, the body, and all those things. Okay, so I see clearly in my dreams. Like if there is a negative entity, I see clearly in my dreams rather than in the waking state. Okay, and there was a client where this entity had some, I had one client where this entity had some connection with their ancestors, and that entity came and warned me and told me not to interfere because this person has a lot of karmic debt and that debt needs to be cleared, and you are one brat that can free this person from that debt, and that person has wronged me, their family has wronged me, so get out, don't interfere, otherwise I will make life difficult for you. Because the entity could see who I am. So the entity warned came to me and I didn't see, but I heard telepathically not to interfere in that person's family karma. Okay, so I recommended that this person go to a professional occultist. Okay, where they actually are able to take some strong measures. Anyway, so that is not the topic of our video today. What the topic of our video today is what happens when you become Shakti. So all these negative entities from the moment you are born as a divine feminine, as a divine masculine, you're always attacked. Okay, you are attacked physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, in every way. Okay, because their agenda is exactly opposite of what our agenda is. Okay, so our agenda was to get into the matrix. Okay, and to get into the matrix, you have to take on the karma. So we had to take on all this Kalsarpa dosha and the Saturn dosha and God knows whatever karmic shit that is. So that happens. We take on the karma, we enter the system. And it's not just about you have to take on the karma to get into the system, you also take on the karma to study the system. Okay, to study how the mind is constructed, how consciousness works. After that, these entities, they will surround you. Okay, and they will come in through the people. Okay, they will come in through the people. Now there are two benefits they get when they come in through the people. Okay, first benefit is they get to attack you. Okay, and stop you from reaching the goal, because your goal is singularity, which will reverse their trauma induced mind control matrix system. Okay, so basically you're supposed to clear the karma. Okay, and you have to come to a place of singularity where you merge with your other half on the astral plane, because the soul separates on the astral plane. And after you merge, you are a system disruptor. Basically, you are a demon system disruptor. Okay, not a human system disruptor. So what happens is you start creating soul integration, you start creating spontaneous healings of people. Okay, people heal around you, and wherever twin flames stay, that place, that area is known to progress technologically, progress emotionally, in every way, because they create a tattva balance. Okay, so wherever twin flames stay, that entire area becomes a posh area. Okay, that is after you get mukti, that is after your soul is liberated, not before. Before, you are just exploring, you are just studying all the different traumas, how people are controlled. Okay, how people are mind controlled. And finally you reach that point where you balance your masculine feminine. energies. And then your soul is liberated, your energy is situated in the crown chakra. Once your energy stabilizes in the crown chakra, stays risen in the crown chakra, your divine masculine awakens. It doesn't awaken before you become the Shakti. Shiva only comes for Shakti. Okay? Shiva doesn't come for a non-divine feminine. Okay? Because Shiva has standards. Okay? You have to be able to bring the fifth dimensional entity to you. How are you going to attract a fifth dimensional entity that is your divine masculine? You have to become divine feminine. You have to get to the fifth dimension. Okay, so quit focusing on the physical form of your twin, which is a partial part of the consciousness. Okay, only a part of his consciousness in his physical body, whereas the large part of the consciousness is actually with you all the time, trying to love you. Okay, and you are not really focused on the soul of your twin that is near you, with you all the time. And I have experienced so many times. Okay, you're focusing on the physical form. You're not supposed to do that. Okay, you're supposed to focus on how to integrate the soul, because that is the singularity mission. Okay, you're not supposed to focus on chasing the physical form. The more you chase, the more the runner will run. Okay, so I will tell you, once you get to that stage where you become divine feminine. Okay, before that there is a state where you are just about to balance your karma. Okay, your masculine feminine are about to balance completely. At that time your energy is still energizing the matrix. It's not really gone up to the crown. You have not really become Shakti. You have not really got the Mukti. You have not really got liberation. It is still trapped. Basically, your energy is still trapped in the matrix. So at that moment, the most number of attacks happen. Okay, so you have to be very careful during that time, because at that time attacks happen like very frequently. All right. So when you become Shakti, basically what happens is, when you come across people, and I'll share this one very important point with some examples later on. The fragmented soul aspects that a person carries, they come in front of you. Okay, and they try to attack you. Why are they attacking you? For two reasons. Number one, they want to stop your ascension, because that is natural for all the demons. None of the demons want you to ascend. Okay, and none of the unconscious souls who are stuck in the lower planes, they also don't want you to ascend. So that's why they stop you. Second reason they attack you is because they see you as food. Okay, because you are a source of energy for them. Once they can hook into your energy field, okay, and you start thinking about these people, you start having emotional reactions. They are fed through that energy, through those cords. Okay, so that is the reason, be it at the workplace, at the home place, or wherever it is, people will try to get into argument with you. Okay, people will simply try to put blames on you. Okay, and things like that, because they are trying to stop your ascension. They are essentially trying to prevent you from reaching the crown chakra and complete the mission, which is the liberation of human souls. Okay, well, that's the mission of every incarnation, and every twin flame, and also those people who meet their twin flames. Okay, and trust me guys, not a lot of people meet their twin flames. And I'm not talking about the ascended twins now, I'm talking about those people whose last lifetime it is, or those who have chosen the ascension path. Very few people, I mean, there are people, they're not few, a lot of people are meeting their twin flames, but still there is a large number of people that are giving up, because this journey is one hell of a journey. And I mean it, because once you meet your twin, your karma opens up, right? And all hell is let loose in your physical reality. So there is a risk involved in meeting your twin. A lot of people want to meet their twin, but do you know what the price you have to pay? You have to be capable of handling all that karmic shit that gets poured into your reality once you meet your twin, because he is like a highway to ascension. He is like a highway to Oshi, to liberation. So all the karma has to be cleared very fast within a limited span of time in this lifetime. So it's going to be intense. On top of that, once you are at the end stages of getting liberation and merging with your twin, there are so many psychic attacks. Okay, so basically what happens is once you become Shakti, the negative entities show up and they try to attack you. Okay, so I'll give you a real life example to make the video more interesting and to have you prepared, basically not to scare you, but I have to tell you the facts. Okay, I have to tell you the facts. So one day I took my bike and I went to a nearby beach. Okay, and when I went there, I parked my bike, I took my helmet off, and I sensed a very negative energy behind me. Okay, I waited still, I didn't get off. I thought there is a man over there at the back, and I thought somebody is going to attack me now. But when I turned behind, I saw that there was a lady there. She was dressed with short dresses. She was wearing something short, and she was dark skinned, and she was standing like that. Okay, so in Indian terms, in Indian spiritual terms, there is a word which is called as avesh. Okay, avesh is when you are possessed by the negative energies. Okay, so this woman, she came into that state the moment she saw me. That means whatever soul fragmentation that she carried within herself, maybe there could be 5 entities, there could be 10 entities, I don't know. So all those entities at once sensed the presence, my presence. Okay, because they can see interdimensionally, right? And they got very angry and they were ready to attack me. At that moment, there were 2 men who called out her name because she went into an unconscious state at that point. The moment she saw me, she came into that aggressive state to attack because she was being controlled by her entity. She was not doing it. So there were 2 boys there, her friends. They called out her name. They had to call out her name at least 5-6 times. And then one of those boys came up to me and started talking with me to distract me and take me to the side. And the other boy accompanied her. And the next thing I saw, what she was doing is she just sat down near a tree and she just took out her cigarettes and she was smoking to calm herself down. Okay, but boy, when I turned back and I saw her standing there clenching her fist like that, that was a scary sight. That was a scary sight. Trust me, that was a scary sight. Okay, but this happens regularly once you are about to get your enlightenment. Okay, and all these things are not in our control. There is a divine timing and there is a divine plan, and often, if not every time, you can see the divine timing in the Kundalini chart. Okay, so this is one example. A second example was like today I went to the dentist. Okay, I went to the dentist and it was a big complex. Okay, the head dentist, the doctor, she was a nice lady, and she had 2 assistants working under her. But the people on the reception, okay, they had a lot of soul fragmentation inside them. Okay, and there was a boy and a girl. They were nice people, they were polite people, but they were out of control. Because when these entities take over, a person goes out of control. And trust me, I have been there, so I'm not judging anyone. Okay, I'm not judging anyone. I know what it is to be out of control. You can't figure it out. You go unconscious, you can't figure it out. I know how that happens. My twin knows how that happens. Sometimes I can point out my twin going unconscious, but he doesn't know that is acting unconsciously. Sometimes somebody else can point out me going unconscious, but I don't know at that moment. Okay, so this happens when entities possess you. Okay, and that is why people say, like when you're moving through a lonely place, it's not good to go alone, because if there are any discarnate entities there, they can get into you and they can make you do anything. They can make you commit suicide. They can make you do anything. Okay, so in this example, what happened is the negative entities that were inside that boy got very angry. He got an erection, and when he got an erection, I could feel the anger. The same word that I use, avesh, it is called avesh. So he got an erection, and I could feel that angry energy, because right, when someone is really burning in anger, even jealousy, you can feel that. So he started disturbing, just creating noises, creating sounds, because first of all he's having an erection, and secondly the entities are creating that. Because see, if this boy did not have the soul fragmentation, if this boy did not have so much karma in his system, if this boy did not have the blockages in the chakras, okay, my energy would make him feel really nice. Okay, but because he had blockages in his feminine polarity, he polarized. He polarized in the presence of the Shakti energy, and he understood what was going on, and instantly he told the girl who was working with her, and then the girl went and told the doctor, and then the doctor gave me an appointment late in the evening, the next appointment. So he was not around. Okay, so basically when I was supposed to come there, he was not to be around. And he went inside. Even during that time, he went inside because he sensed that he was going out of control, and that was probably the first time he understood how mind controlled people are. Okay, and the girl, the lady, she could not even fix an appointment with me properly. She was saying one thing on the phone, and when she was typing a different date. So she was telling me, okay, the appointment is on Tuesday, this date. But when she was writing down, she was writing Tuesday, which was a different date. Okay, so she was creating structural instability. What does this show? This shows that she has root chakra blockages. Okay, and if she doesn't heal those patterns, she's not going to be able to progress financially. Okay, so these are the soul fragmentations and the entities that basically keep people stuck in poverty timelines, bad marriage timelines, all these things, bad friendship timelines, whatever it is. Okay, so it is very, very important to do your soul fragmentation healing, which is also known as shadow work. So this happens just before you become Shakti. Okay, when you become Shakti though, the process changes. Okay, and I will talk about it in a different video, how the process changes. But just before you are about to get the soul liberation, you are about to reach the final stage of enlightenment, where your energy goes and remains in the crown. I'm not talking about third eye balancing. I'm talking about from the third eye, the energy goes to the crown. This is a very high level state. Okay, most of the twin flame connections, when they give the coaching, they teach you about balancing your third eye. Okay, up till the third eye, because from third eye to crown chakra, that is completely grace. Okay, because that is a different level of ascension. Up till the third eye, what really happens is your karma within yourself, your male female energies, that balances. Okay, And Crown Chakra basically means complete ascension. Okay, you're out of this matrix. You are now in the 5D new earth. So you not only have cleared your karma, okay, you have cleared the karma with the planet itself, okay, with everybody on the planet. So at that stage, Crown Chakra stage, you get mukti. That means you do not incarnate in the 3D matrix. Okay, but these things are slightly changing these days because we are having 5D matrix on this planet right now. Okay, 3D matrix is being just cleared out. Okay, and we are getting the 5D matrix, and that is why a lot of people are involved in this kind of work. So this is what I have to share with you, friends. I gave you a few examples of, basically what really happens when you reach the crown chakra level. And of course, when you reach the crown chakra level and your inner masculine or feminine energy, whichever polarity, like for me, I'm divine feminine, so I have to balance the divine masculine. So when divine masculine is about to balance, it's not fully balanced, but it's about to balance. Like say it's 80% complete, 90% complete, whatever, 75% complete. Even then, mostly you have to be beyond 80. At that point, you start getting signs, okay, various signs that your masculine energy is balanced, like things begin to manifest and birds and animals are magnetically drawn to you. But this is also one of the most dangerous stages where you tend to attract negativity a lot. Okay, and people's entities basically sense your presence, they come to know who you are and they start to attack you. So you have to take the required precautions, you have to chant the required mantras, okay? And if you know Reiki, then you can take some Reiki protection, learn to close your aura, okay, lock your aura, and keep your surroundings clean. You don't want the damp, dirty smells and unruly surroundings. You don't want that. And keep good people around you, because if you have a lot of negative people around you, then they also carry entities. Maintain brahmacharya, and of course you cannot reach this level without brahmacharya. Okay, the only reason I was able to reach this level is only because of brahmacharya. And to reach brahmacharya, I had to really study this process very deeply, explore my consciousness very deeply for like 4 years, 3 to 4 years. Okay, and through a lot of work on my chakras, balancing the chakras, clearing the blockages, I was able to reach a level of brahmacharya. Okay, you can only reach brahmacharya when you are very close to balancing. It's a very high level. Okay, so if you have a lot of trauma inside you, you cannot maintain brahmacharya. Okay, so because see, what is the meaning of karma? Karma is a mind control system. You are a prisoner, and prisoner means what? You don't have control. Okay, so if the negative entities want you to engage in some sexual activity, they can control you. You do not have control over that situation. Okay, if they want you to create some disharmony, they will completely mind control you and they will make you say those terrible things. Because I have experimented on myself in the initial stages. Okay, a certain negative situation would happen, and then I would want to respond to it in a particular way at that moment, but then I would hold myself back and I would chant a mantra for like 15 minutes, and then I would be able to see different ways of handling that situation that I couldn't see at that moment. Okay, when I was in that situation immediately. Okay, so I was planning to respond in 2 ways that were not the best ways to respond to with. But after chanting the mantra and raising my consciousness, I was able to see better ways of handling the situation. So, this mind control is very subtle to identify. Okay, because when you're within that system, when your soul is fragmented, when your DNA codes are not activated, you cannot see it. and you don't have control. Okay, so that is the meaning of karma. So when you become Shakti, basically you bring out other people's fragmented soul aspects. But once your Shakti goes and stays risen even in the third eye, that's when the entities are not able to harm you. Okay, in fact, the entities leave that person and run away. Okay, so I've had this happen in several situations. I've seen a friend of mine just sitting there, and I've seen entities leave from her when I entered the room. This is in a non-dramatic way, and I've seen entities leave in a very dramatic way. Like, when I enter in a particular situation, a person would just turn and fall down and go unconscious like for 3-4 minutes and then regain consciousness back again. And that was how those entities left. So because entities think that everybody else is also infected, so they are like cool and calm, and suddenly when they see a Shakti coming, they kind of get surprised and they jump out of that person's body, and that can shock the person's system. So imagine these entities are controlling the mind of the person, and suddenly I'm standing there back. Okay, the entities are hell scared because the divine feminine energy, they can sense it, and suddenly they jump out of the person's body. So imagine the hands were in the person's brain, like controlling all the circuits of that person, and suddenly they leave. So obviously the person's system will be in shock, right? So such a situation, people can fall, faint also. So it has happened with me before. So basically, twin flames, what they do is they bring awareness to what is wrong with the system and why the system is not working, and why we are having all these issues in corporate places, in relationships, health issues, whatever hell that is going on around here, why we don't have the heaven. They create the awareness. I've created a lot of awareness to such an extent that it shocked people. Of course, I'm an artist. I'm supposed to shock and wake up people. So realize what is going on behind the scenes. There is another system that mind controls humanity via your traumas. Everybody knows, like if a man or a woman, boy or a girl who has not been loved, as they are growing up, they can enter into abusive relationships. Why? Because their system learns to cope. The system creates coping mechanisms. The system mobs to cope with that lack of love situation, and later on, those coping mechanisms are the very mechanisms that keep attracting those negative relationships. So it's a loop, a karmic loop, until you do your healing and get rid of those coping mechanisms. And there's karma also that you have to get rid of, not just the coping mechanisms. And these coping mechanisms are difficult to get rid of because they are subtle levels of the mind. And if you have to access and control those subtle mind levels, then you have to awaken the chakras. If you don't awaken the chakras, you have no hope. Trust me. So you might go, that's why you find people in therapy so many years, nothing works because they know all the techniques, they know 20 techniques. None of those techniques works because your chakras are blocked. Okay? But it does help to have an understanding of what the coping mechanisms are and do a lot of emotional releasing and healing, because people are in different stages of unconsciousness. Okay, so accordingly different healing modalities have to be used. Okay, sometimes working on chakra balancing with a person who is in a very low level of consciousness, it can be too much. So that person probably needs to go in therapy for some time and then come to chakra activation, chakra balancing, because chakra balancing is a very intense thing. It's a software and you are getting inside the software and it can affect your reality. That's why you need a guru, an enlightened guru Okay, so friends, this was my video on what happens when you become Shakti. I have described what happens when you are like just about to become Shakti. Okay, like I will talk about the rest of the process in a different video. So if you like this video, then please give it a like, share, subscribe to my channel. And if you feel guided to, you can take a session with me. Okay, I can help you to identify your blocks and suggest ways in which you can work, okay, in clearing those blocks, okay. And people have benefited from my sessions, okay. So you can contact me on the number given below, and I'll see you again next time.